Hey guys, Martian Cubing here, and today I'll be comparing the X-Man Flare versus the Valk 2x2. Real quick before we get started, if you're just here for my final decision, you can go to this timestamp right there, and I'll tell you why I think about it, but there's always more to it than that, so I suggest you watch the entire video to get a full in-depth comparison between these two. So how this works is pretty simple. There'll be 5 categories, and the winner for each category will get a point. So the 5 categories are corner cutting, speed, stability, customization, and finally, price. And without further ado, let's just get into the first category, which is corner cutting. So starting off with the Valk, it corner cuts 45 degrees pretty easily, and can do a little more than 45 degrees easily as well. And with that said, it pretty much corner cuts until it reverse corner cuts with only a small spot that it locks up. Moving on to the Flare, it also does 45 degrees easily and a little bit more than 45. And the reverse corner cutting is slightly worse, but the corner cutting is about the same. However, the Flare's corner cutting is a lot more inconsistent, where sometimes it locks up on big corner cuts and sometimes it doesn't. So for the corner cutting round, the Valk gets a point. Moving on to speed. So there's not that much I can show you about this one, other than really say that the Valk is slower than the Flare. It is a lot heavier, which might add to its speed. But the Valk is a normal speed pretty much, and the Flare is much faster. You can speed the Valk up by tensioning and lubing, but out of the box, the Flare is just a faster cube. So it's 1-1. So there's not much I can really show you for stability, other than tell you that the Valk is a stabler cube. And as cubes go, the slower cubes are generally more stable, so that's the same here. With that said, the Flare is still a stable cube, but the Valk is just stabler. So it's 2-1. Moving on to customization. So the Valk is like a lot of other cubes where the only thing you can customize is the tensions. The Flare, on the other hand, as a lot of you know, has a magnetic tensioning system. As you can see, there's 2 levers there, and you lift one up for medium, both of them up for strongest, and both of them down for weakest. And there's just 6 levers on one piece, and that controls the magnets for the entire cube. It has that magnet strength adjustment as well as tension adjustment. So for customization, the Flare gets a point. It's 2-2. Moving on to the final category, we have price. So the Valk is around $21 on SpeedCube Shop in the Cubicle, and the Flare is $14, $15, $16 between there on SpeedCube Shop and the Cubicle. So the Flare is just a cheaper cube. So the Flare wins the final round. The final score is 3-2. So with that said, from my testing, the Flare is just a better cube, but there's always more to it than that. It comes down to personal preference. The Valk is a slower but more stable cube, whereas the Flare is a faster but a little less stable cube. So if you like stabler cubes, definitely go with the Valk, and if you don't want to spend $21 on a 2x2, which is a lot, you can definitely go with the Flare. So with all that said, for most people, I suggest the Flare 2x2. Alright guys, thank you guys for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next video.